you guys thought you could get rid of me? I'm back.
This will be my first sailing yacht. How hard can it be?
None of these other chicks are gonna go for you because you're 20 years younger than them.
Oh,
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Below Deck Sailing Yacht Edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-captain. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
How'd you feel about this episode?
It was good.
Okay.
I was hoping the ladies will bring more action.
Yeah, that's kind of
Right?
where I am.
Right?
It proves my point, because I think I said a couple episodes ago, when the guests don't go wild, you get a lot of crew craziness. And when the crew goes crazy, well, I guess it goes without saying, you get the guest
Yes.
footage. And we got a lot of crew craziness this episode.
Which I like.
I'm here for it, and I think it's nice to have that balance, because some of the other shows we watch, it's all on the couples
Yeah.
to bring the crazy. It's all on Bilal and Shida to bring
AKA 90 Day.
to bring the crazy. Yeah. Or it's all on Magda Shak and Lindsay, right? Here, at least, if the crew wants to relax and not go wild, you can hope that the guests are going to go nuts, and it usually works out that way. So, yeah, I wanted a little bit more craziness from the crew or from the guests, but they still have another day on
Yes.
the boat.
I expected it because it was a friend of what's
Erica
her face?
Rose. I
Erica
think.
Rose,
Yeah.
right? And we saw a throwback to the previous season, and it seemed a little wild. Even Captain Glenn said, all women charter. That's going to be interesting. It's always interesting. So maybe the drama will come.
I hope
But
so.
right now, they all are just smitten with Marcos.
Yeah, and I have maybe a theory as to why the drama is not brewing yet.
Is it because Erica isn't there?
No, but it's because the alcohol's not there.
They are drinking.
They're having a half glass. They're enjoying a half glass with dinner and then shutting it down and going to bed. And we'll get into it when Gary takes them on the tender to go frolic in the water. And Daisy goes to try and prove a point. And she's like, you want a drink? You want a top off? Like, no, we're good. We're good.
You
Right.
want to top off?
Like, if they're drinking a mixed drink, do you want me to put in another shot
I felt
of
like she was
tequila?
asking them if they want to take their tops off.
Well, I want that. But we didn't get any. we didn't get any of that.
I'm
Wet,
like,
wild, and
what's
craziness.
Stacey's role?
You know,
Exactly.
she's the party starter. Either drink or take your top off, girls.
It's Europe, biatches.
It's topless all the time. But yeah, they were holding back. They weren't getting too liquored up. And maybe they will. Again, we still have another. But we're coming off a charter where the guests were passed out.
Oh my gosh.
Afternoon one, dolphins are breaching and they're sleeping through it, right? So that, I feel like, is what's missing. And that's what's keeping it from getting too crazy.
I agree.
Is the sobriety.
Yeah.
It's the
yeah.
sobriety. But what are you gonna do? They're there. They're having fun.
I mean, sobriety is important.
Yeah, it's important to mix it in once in a while. Mix in a water, guys.
But
Mix in a water.
yeah. Show us some drama, people.
All right, we're gonna get into it in a second. Before we do, a couple housekeeping items. Follow us on social media, guys. The memes are back.
The memes are back. And
Not below deck memes, but
not below deck
but above average memes.
not below deck memes,
Yes.
but definitely above average. It's a joint venture between John and I.
We started putting our heads together and we said, listen. The two of us, if we sit down and we really think, we might be able to come up with something worth posting. And we did it 2 days in a row.
Not even sitting down. We were grilling the first time, and the second time I was cooking, and I was like, hey, let's come up with a meme.
When food is involved.
Yes. So when
We're
John
able
was
to-
grilling, we came up with meme one.
Yes.
And then when I was cooking, we
Yeah.
came up with a meme number 2.
You know what's interesting, and I didn't even think about it at the time? I was grilling steak. I was grilling steak kebabs when we came up with that steak meme.
Well, that was my idea to use.
What do you mean?
the
I thought we did this
seed.
together. I thought we were
did.
doing this
And
together.
you did
There
the
is no
say.
my
You
idea.
did the say.
There is
but
no
yeah.
my idea.
Okay, well,
in
it was
teamwork.
a joint venture.
Yes, I was the one who was grilling the steak. That's probably what gave you the idea to
Yeah,
use.
yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
All right, Teresa, there's no I in team.
No, it's one.
We're
It's just one. We're one.
Okay, but the memes are back. The memes are back on Instagram, on Facebook. Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. Search for Married to Reality on Facebook. It's all there. Message us. We'll keep you posted on all things Married to Reality on the socials. So make sure you're there and hanging out with us. It's a good time. Also, make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. Whether you're on Apple or Spotify or Stitcher, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're following the podcast. So every time we drop a podcast, it comes right to your device. And it's so easy to follow. You just look down, you smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as Chef Marcos.
Woo!
Because that's everything this charter guest and myself have been thinking.
Oh, boy. Yeah, finally some guests who are giving Marcos his due. Finally, it takes 8 ladies to come onto a boat, and Marcos can grab their attention. No one else before was really that impressed with the chef.
People are impressed with his food.
Say yes to the chef.
Yes.
That's what I say.
Because the chef is hot.
He was
Okay, moving
delivering.
on.
Oh, moving on. All right. And funny. He played a great prank on Gary when they were in the cabin.
Oh, my
And he
gosh.
was like,
Was it Marcos? I thought
Yeah.
it was Colin.
I think it was Marcos.
I wrote down Colin.
I think it was whoever, and I don't study their bedroom the way you might, Teresa. It was
Colin
whoever.
is below Gary.
Yeah, so it was Marcos. It was,
I thought
the-
Colin was knocking
no,
on,
Gary
on the
would
bed
feel that.
frame.
I'm pretty sure it was Marcos.
Okay,
So add that to
okay.
the list of things that make him hot. Great sense of humor.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So Instagram, Facebook, you're following the podcast. One last thing, if you haven't left a review, and a bunch of you guys are, so thank you. And I'm not talking to you, okay? You did your duty. You did your job, and we thank you for that. I'm talking to the people who haven't yet. And if you're a new listener, that's fine. Listen to a couple episodes, see if you like us. And if you like us, leave a review.
yeah, absolutely, guys. 5 stars,
We'll
preferably.
read. I'm not going to beg for 5 stars. I'm going to ask for you to give us what we deserve. We'll read the 5-star reviews on the main podcast.
John is so honest.
That's the incentive. Is
so
if
much honesty.
if you give us a 5-star review, we will read it on the Monday night podcast, the 90 Day Fiancé podcast.
Yes.
And you can hear it there. So please, if you haven't left a review, it would mean a lot to us if you could leave one.
It does mean a lot to us.
It really
and it does help our pod. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now my favorite part of this podcast. Boat name the segment. Okay, we watch the episode. We say Parsifal 3, not for me. We say let's rename this boat in accordance to what happened on the episode. Teresa, would you like? First of all, Teresa, how many names do you have? Okay,
I only have 2. How
okay,
about you?
I could narrow it down. I'm going to narrow it down to 2.
Okay.
Teresa, with the first boat name of the week.
All right. Are you ready? Okay.
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. Sexy-licious. Like
Whoa!
sexy-licious, but there is a C in the middle.
Teresa, is this your best boat name
What?
of the sea? 13, coming alive 13 episodes in.
Guess when I came up with it?
Just now. Staring at my sexy-licious face. It
Sure.
just popped into your head.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Fantastic. I don't know where to go with that. Okay. I'm going to go with, I'm going to start slow and I'm going to finish big.
Okay.
All right.
No, start big. I started big.
No, I want to end. I want to end on a high note. You'll never know. Okay. We had a little bit of fighting, a little bit of bickering. We had a lot of cooking, right? Mm-hmm. Dishing it out.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you, Teresa.
You see, our approach is very different.
I know we talk about our
say
approach
it,
every time.
I say it and then I explain a little
I
bit.
like to build into
You
it.
explain and then you say.
Well, I sell it in first.
Oh.
I get the heads nodding. Oh, yeah, that makes okay. Boom, hit them, dishing it out. All right.
Cool. I like it.
Let's just do one more then.
Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Oh, I'm so ready. After Sexy-licious.
Sexy-licious.
Where do we go from there?
We're going to Sparkles.
Okay.
Sparkles flying everywhere.
Sparkles.
The guests sparkling over Marcos. Scarlett, Gary sparkling.
Those sequins.
Then Barnaby's making the boat sparkly clean.
Nice sparkles, yeah.
It's sparkles.
I accidentally went to a bar, Sparkles, in college, but I'm not going to tell you that story. Just kidding. Okay. Sparkles and my Robin Sparkles. You like? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother.
I Met Your Mother. My second name, okay? Well, you said the sequence, you said the sparkles. The other part of that equation was the wigs. Okay? Big wigs. Teresa doesn't get it. A big wig. Have you ever heard the term big wig?
No.
It is someone who is in a high-powered position, wealthy, powerful. They're a big wig. And so if you are renting a yacht, you're probably a big wig or know a big wig. And they were rocking those big wigs. Come on, Teresa. That's probably one of my
Pretty
best.
good now when you explain it.
That's why you got to explain them sometimes.
I love it. Love
Right.
it. Great job, John.
Don't forget Teresa's foreign. She doesn't always get my references. That's why we have you guys listening. And thank you. And call in and let us know your boat names because we love to hear from you guys.
We do.
All right. That is Boat Name, the segment. Let's talk about episode 13. Okay. Still no guests yet. We're 4 hours until charter. And Daisy just broke the news to Ashley that she and Scarlett, they're going to be equals. Mm-hmm. She didn't, I don't think she clarified, are they going to be second stews
She
or
said
third?
juniors.
Right. See, so I was like, would it be like fecond stews? Like third and like the brunch of stews, like fecond?
I think they're going to be third stews, but she's just calling it juniors because there is no a third stew.
Right.
Basically, Scarlett is going to be what Ashley is and stays.
Oh, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're both junior stews. Ashley is stewing about it. She is not happy.
Pissed, but doesn't really say anything. She just kind of tries to make her case a little more.
Yeah.
But Daisy said, hey, you might have the skills, but you don't have the people skills. You're not a team player. This is a teamwork. And all you see is power.
What's interesting is I want to call them fecund stews, but okay, as junior stews,
What are you calling them?
like a hybrid of third and second would be fecund.
Oh my gosh. That's a horrible,
It's
horrible
like thais.
word.
It's like thais
That's
on
a
90 Day.
horrible word.
Junior stews, okay. They balance each other out. To your point, Ashley has the knowledge of how to get things done. Scarlett is probably more of a people person.
Yeah.
And will just take orders and do what she needs to do. So
And she's
balance,
learning, yeah.
They balance each other out.
And she, from what we see, she asks questions how to do things, but we never see her messing it up. So I think she can pick it up fast.
We'll see. This is her first charter.
Let's be honest. Gabriella was telling Ashley how to do things all the time, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Someone needs to take the lead. Someone needs to.
and that's fine that it's Ashley because she has been there a little longer, right? But the fact that
Scarlett's clueless. Let's be honest. Scarlett's clueless.
yeah, but she asks questions.
That's fine, but she's in over her head. I don't think she has any place on this boat. And if I paid $60,000 to rent this or to charter this boat, and I had basically someone who is incapable, might as well just pick someone up off the street. I would be kind of pissed.
That is not true. Like she does have a
She
boat
worked
experience.
on booze cruises. She was like a waitress on a booze
But the
cruise.
thing, she was a waitress, right? She
Yeah.
probably did clean something at some point of her life, right?
Maybe.
It's not like, oh, okay, so you were a swimmer and now you're gonna be on a boat. Two different things.
Yeah.
She's been doing that, different boats, and what's good about her, what I like, is that she is aware of it. She's like, shit, like I've never done this before. This is
Well,
too
that's
much.
it. She's got the right attitude.
Yes. She's not like, ugh, this is nothing. I can
Right.
do it. Like, ugh, I've done something similar. No, she has a great attitude.
Yeah.
That's why she's going to learn. That's why she's going to pick it up because she does have the right attitude.
Well, let's talk about attitude because Barnacle is put on night shift by Gary, and he's not pleased with this scheduling because he goes, doesn't it make sense to have the excited guy on during the day to make the guests happy? But last episode, didn't he say he didn't want to work hard? So doesn't the night shift seem perfect for him? Just be up. No one's going to bother you. Do what you got to do and go to bed.
Yeah, they can be switching too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Gary. If I was him, I would keep Weird Al Yankovic away from the guests too.
But also, Kelsey's up during the day too.
Right. That's the weird thing is there's
Like, it's
definitely
not like she's sleeping the whole day.
there's definitely some crossover.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, Barnacle not pleased and kind of has a little
Attitude.
a little tone about it too. And so that's where I go, yeah, Scarlett may not have the skill set just yet, but she has the attitude to learn. Maybe Barnacle does have the skill set, but his attitude is all wrong. Not all wrong. He's not that bad, but he's definitely not as go with the flow as he could be.
I think he wants more action.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely does.
Yeah, and that's why he wants to be on during the day, because that's when shit goes down usually, unless you're as lucky as Tom.
Yeah.
The shit goes down at night.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And we had Kelsey and Barnacle talking about their placement, and they're cleaning the boat and talking, and Kelsey tells the camera, is it wrong of me to think I work harder than Barnacle? He just works to get the job done.
I think that's absolutely correct.
I put the cherry on top, she says. You gotta love Kelsey.
Oh, Kelsey's the best.
Still hasn't come to the forefront of the show yet, like a Ashley or like a Gary. But maybe that's for the best.
I don't think she's going to.
You little doses. You know, you can't have too much sugar. It'll make you sick. So just little doses of her. She comes in, she says something, she walks away. It's hilarious.
I love it.
Love Kelsey.
And she's also very right. And I think Barnaby would agree with her, because he said, I'm not here to work hard. I'm here to work smart.
Yeah. Well,
So-
working smart would be to just go with what your boss tells you. Don't put up a stink. That's not working smart.
Yeah.
And speaking of working smart, did you see he snuck a couple snacks out of the guest bowls that were on the top of the bar?
What?
Yeah,
I
and
didn't see
they're
that.
prepping, right? It's like an hour until the guests come. He walks by the bar, just takes a handful out and eats them. Yeah, it's so not professional. So not professional.
Unless it's okay to do it. I don't know if it's okay.
Oh, it's definitely not okay.
No?
It's definitely not okay.
They must have snacks.
Yeah,
in
they
the
must
kitchen.
have crew snacks.
Yeah.
So why are you reaching your hands
Ooh, I
into,
didn't see that.
into the guest bowls?
Thief.
He's a thief. He's a thief.
No one else saw it?
Just me. Just me. Let's talk about this. Okay. Gary goes and finds Scarlett. And I don't know, they're somewhere, some crew
They're
area.
cleaning.
They're cleaning or doing laundry or
No,
something.
they're downstairs cleaning, prepping the rooms.
And he is so friendly. Overly friendly, I would
That's
say.
one way to put it.
Overly. He's hugging her. He's kissing her on the cheek. It is so much, so fast. And that was before they started making out.
Wait. I thought this is the segment where she's cleaning with Ashley and Gary just comes in.
I'm talking about when it's Gary and Scarlett together. There was a segment where Ashley and Scarlett are talking.
I'm following. This was like a little segment
Yeah, I
that
didn't
we
think
just
much
skipped
happened.
over.
I didn't think much happened there. I was going straight to the goods.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about, where Gary is just
In the laundry room.
it's the laundry room, right? And at first he's like hugging her and like slow dancing with her, and I'm like, this is weird. Just that I felt was weird. And then in the middle or out of the middle of nowhere, they start making out.
Wild.
Like sober
Wild.
in the middle of the day.
Because Gary is very much into her, and Scarlett feels the sparkles.
She feels the mustache against
Oh my
her
gosh.
face.
What's up with the stash?
I don't mind the stash.
What's
I
up
don't-
with the stash?
I don't think it's a bad stash.
It's a bad stash. It's a
I've
bad
seen worse
stash.
stashes.
If it's not November, you should shave it.
It was working for Gary, I thought. Scarlett didn't seem to mind. Here's my question, and we'll never know, I don't think. Was it real, this quick lust in make out, or was it tricky editing? Did this happen a week later and then we just edited it in? Because there's no context around it. We'll have to see later if Gary still has that mustache, I guess. There was no context around it where like someone walked in and was like, what? You just met her. It was such an isolated incident where I could see them taking it from later in the season and putting it here.
No. Because Gary does have the mustache.
I know, but we don't know if Gary's going to have the mustache in 2 episodes.
Oh, it definitely happened because Gary is so into her that, and you can vibe it out. You can vibe out if someone's into you,
That
and you
is
can
so
test the
fast.
waters.
It's less than 24 hours.
Yeah, you're on a boat. What else are you gonna do?
Work.
Well, that too, but
Work. It was, the sun was shining. sober as it gets. And
Because he's into her. You don't need alcohol
I don't
to
care.
kiss someone.
When did we kiss? How long did it take for us to kiss?
Like 2 dates.
Right. Our second date and multiple drinks.
Well, that was on you.
At night.
But then moving on, were you always drunk when you kissed me?
No, but
So?
I'm using the nighttime and the drinking a little facetiously. But I'm just saying, you've known this girl in daylight hours, like awake 4, 5, 6 hours. I don't know. And you guys are making out. It's crazy fast. It's crazy fast.
Oh, that's fine. It's
You're-
on we're on the boat.
There was dock. They weren't even in international waters. There are still rules, Teresa.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, there isn't there. All right, cut to the guests. We got a girls trip, as we said. I think it was 8 ladies.
Possibly.
I'm only doing the math because Marcos later says 80 plates, and it was a 10-course meal. I'm not great at math, but 10 courses for 8 people would be 80 plates.
Yes.
So I'm guessing 8 people. Some familiar faces, some new faces, but they get on the boat. Daisy gives the tour. Rest of the crew unpacks. Marcos busy in the galley. And this is the guests admire Marcos right from the start.
Right from the start. One of them was like, Mark, the chef is hot.
I should have learned more Spanish because I'm going to blow through it all by the second course. Dinner's set for 8:30, and the ladies give him free reign to make what he wants, which is nice because he knows the next night I'm going to be making 80 plates.
Yes. So he decides to make a quack quack.
Duck?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever had duck before.
Oh, I feel bad eating a
I
dog.
don't know if I've ever had it. You're gonna eat Noah's Ark the next night. So why do you feel bad eating a duck tonight?
I mean, ducks are kind of cute, but
All animals are cute, and we need
True.
to stop watching Saved by the Barn because
no.
what's the cow's name that you're in love with? She's a little aggressive.
Buttercup?
Buttercup. Yeah, don't you feel bad eating a cow after watching 45 minutes of Buttercup? A little bit.
I don't think about
little
it. I'm
bit.
getting my protein.
Okay. We gotta stop.
Did you have to mention Buttercup?
Gotta stop watching Buttercup. So Marcos is cooking. They're doing past hors d'oeuvres too in the meantime, which looks
so delicious.
Guys, can we all pitch in and charter a yacht, please? For like one night. This looks amazing.
Only a yacht with Marco's cooking.
This looks amazing.
He has a restaurant in LA.
That's true.
We should go.
I know, but the yacht, the experience.
I know.
Apparently, you can make out with someone even before you learn their name. There's just no rules, Teresa.
Well, you have to work on the yacht.
You have to work
first.
on the yacht. Okay. So then, oh boy, one of the guests spots a rope swing and says, "I think I would like to. I think I would like to try my hand at this rope swing." And so Gary sets it up, shows him how it's done, like a true professional. And Jessica's like, "All right, I'll go next." Sticks the landing. All right. Then another guest, Bailey. No problem. Then we meet Jennifer, who is scared, shall I say, to do such an activity. And here's my advice. If you're scared, if you're hesitant,
Do it.
not something like this. You need to be confident. You can be scared, but you need to be confident, if that makes sense.
It does, but it's hard to separate those two if you are in such
You
situation.
got to push your fear to the back of your mind and go for it. Because what Jennifer does is she holds onto the rope and she runs like she's going to do it and then stops and goes back. She chickened out, for lack of a better term. And that's a problem because she has no confidence. And she goes to do it again. But this time she commits to it, but runs like sideways off the boat and belly flops.
Ouch.
Teresa,
Ouch.
Teresa, I have a story
us.
about something similar to
Tell
this.
us. Tell us.
Okay. When I was in high school, my friends and I, we used to go cliff jumping. Are you familiar with cliff jumping?
Yes. Where?
In
What in
Connecticut.
Connecticut?
In Connecticut. If I said the
Pond
town,
behind your mom's house.
no, we did it in a reservoir in one town. I wish I knew the town, but there was cliffs and then rivers and a lot of lakes in Connecticut. And so there's this one cliff we used to always go to. When we were in high school, we thought it was 60 feet. I don't know if that's true or not, but for the sake of the story, 60-foot cliff, we would go every weekend, jump off it. So much fun. Word got out around school that we would do it. And so these girls that we were friends with were like, oh, we want to do it. We want a cliff jump too. And we're like, cool, let's do it. So the next weekend, they came out with us and we did it. We jumped off the cliff. The guys went. Some of the girls went. And then we had a Jennifer. Okay, we had a Jennifer with us who, athletic girl, but for some reason maybe scared of heights. So she had no confidence. And you could tell, and she was scared, and she kind of sat at the top of the cliff the entire time while we were all jumping off until it got towards the end. And she was realizing, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And so we all kind of cheered her on. And we're like, go for it, go for it. So she's like, all right, I'm going to go for it. And here's where I say you need to commit. You need to commit to what you're doing because you got to take a running start so you can get far enough out from the rocks that you clear them before you hit the water. So she did. She took her paces back, 5 feet back, 6 feet back, and started to run towards the edge of the cliff. And to cliff jump successfully, you need to kind of push off of the cliff, right? You need to run and kind of leap off to clear what's below you. She did the opposite. She ran to the end of the cliff, and instead of leaping off, she took sort of like a stutter step. She like almost put the brakes on and then took another jump. So it was like run, 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 jump, jump. Which killed all of her momentum. And she belly flopped 60 feet onto the water. We literally thought she may have died because she went down and it seemed like an hour before she came back up. I'm sure it was 5 seconds, but we were all like freaked out. She came up, obviously hyperventilating, couldn't believe what happened, kind of had the wits knocked out of her. She was fine, right? Overall, she was fine until we saw her the next day in school when the entire front of her body was black and blue from head to toe.
What?
Yeah.
She hit it with the head too?
Complete, just belly flop. Her
Like
entire,
even her head?
her face, her arms, her stomach, legs, everything just black and blue. It was unbelievable.
Ouch.
It was unbelievable.
I hope she took a photo.
Oh, there were a lot of photos around that time of us cliff jumping. Maybe we'll find one. But that's the moral of the story, is to commit to something. If you're going to do a commit, don't second guess yourself. Just go for it, and you'll be more likely to succeed. Okay?
That's true. That's
Okay.
very true.
All right, that's the moral. So the rope swing is done. Ladies change into their blacks. The crew changes into their blacks to set up for dinner. It's wigs and sequins night, Teresa.
What a cheap theme. Am I right?
This looked like New Year's Eve at a bowling alley.
Absolutely.
Was it the first indoor dinner of the season?
I didn't even see it was indoors.
It was indoors. Yeah. They didn't want anyone around to see the party. They're like, this is an atrocious looking party. We better put this
They're
inside.
on the ocean, so I mean on the sea.
I don't know. Were they sailing at that point? I guess they're not docked. Yeah.
Yeah.
They must have been out there. It was
Plus,
it was
they
terrible.
don't dock near the land. They dock in the middle.
Well, they drop anchor. They
Yeah.
dock on land. Teresa, that's what docking is. They dock on land. They drop anchor
Yes,
in the
that's
middle.
what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
I wasn't sure if they had ever left port.
Of course they left.
Okay, so they left port. They're having this horrible, atrocious looking party. And they come up, the guests come up in their wigs. And can I say, I'm just going to admit, I was wrong. I was wrong. Because at first I thought, wigs and sequins. Sounds pretty fun. Sounds like a good time. And then I saw them. And I take it all back. Because why is wearing different colored wigs fun? Why is making yourself look way worse than you normally look fun?
I don't know, but yeah, it was very basic. I was questioning it. What was Captain Glenn wearing? Was it like a leftover from the Christmas tree?
That was left over from my bar mitzvah. I'm pretty sure we had those.
But he was the most fun looking one.
He chose the wrong dinner to attend, I would say.
Well, they invited him.
I think it was Captain's choice, though. They said, we want one dinner with Glenn. And Glenn was like, I'll choose the non-10 course one,
Yeah,
so I don't have
maybe
to
he
sit
didn't
there for
want
5
to add.
hours.
Yeah, that, and he didn't want to add more work for Marcos.
That's fair. That's fair. But poor Glenn.
Well, okay, if you chartered a boat like that,
yes.
and you could have a theme party, what would you
don't
have?
Don't put me on the spot.
Go from the top of your head. Go.
So what I thought the 10 course meal was going to be, I thought it was going to be more tapas style. I wouldn't say that was traditional tapas style.
No.
So I think I would go tapas style. I think I would go traditional Spanish tapas. For cuisine, at least. It's
What's
not
the theme?
It's not going to pair with my theme.
What's the theme?
Karaoke. We're going to karaoke.
Classic.
All night long.
Classic.
Yeah. What about you, Teresa?
I like your tapas idea. That sounds pretty
That's
good.
good because you're invited.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I like that idea because I love tapas. And I would maybe ask that some of the tapas would be Asian infused.
Okay. I'm Asian inspired. I like it.
And the theme would be Jurassic Park on the sea.
Whoa. All right.
So everyone should dress up as people from Jurassic Park 1. Exactly. That would be the music. The background music would be the soundtrack.
I was just giving you a soundtrack to you. I didn't mean for you to stop.
It would be.
See, now we're combining. I'm doing karaoke. You're doing Jurassic Park. Look at this teamwork.
Look at that.
Teamwork.
I would invite you to my party
Thank
too.
you, and I would attend.
We would most likely charter the boat together. You know that,
So
right?
it'd be 2 nights. One night would be karaoke. The next night at JP.
And I would want a really big inflatable dinosaur on the front of the boat.
That you could also take into the water and float on.
Absolutely.
This is great.
But not like those pussy dinosaurs for kids. A
fuck
big
those-
one.
fuck those
Like
pussy
10,
dinosaurs.
10 feet.
Yeah, life size.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay. So we mentioned before dinner was seared duck breast with a pear Bordeaux reduction.
Sounds so good. I love duck.
Yeah.
It has to be good.
It's got to be good.
Some
It's
ducks
very
get
rich.
fatty.
Yeah, it's very rich.
Some ducks get fatty. And last time I had a duck, it was a little fatty. So when we met your parents the other weekend, I was in between the duck and the scallops. And your mom was like, I'll get the duck. So she did. I was like, God damn it. That duck was good.
Yeah.
My scallops were good too, but that was the duck that was nice and crispy and lean.
Can I just say, Teresa, and I'm going to call you out. Whenever you're in between 2 dishes, you always pick the wrong one.
I guess.
Always pick the wrong one.
I usually, I know.
You got to trust. You got to commit. It goes back to cliff jumping. Just, I'm sure whatever your first instinct is, go with it. Commit.
Well, I was also going for something a little healthier. Plus, the duck came with this like risotto, and I had the risotto the day before.
Yeah.
So
Well, the
it
duck,
was a strategic move, but
the duck that you're talking about didn't come with beef tenderloin, did it? Because
it did not. But this is wild.
This is a double dose of entree right here.
It looks beautiful.
Duck, beef tenderloin, and then there was lobster for someone else, I believe. And for dessert, gluten-free chocolate cake, creme brulee, and Italian meringue. Sign me up.
Yum.
Sign me up.
Yum.
So let's talk about Gary and Scarlett getting flirty in the crew quarters. Because he comes out and he admits he has a crush on her.
Oh, yeah.
So fast. This guy's not waiting for anything. This guy...
I realize I'm just shaking my head. You guys cannot hear it.
This is an audio medium, Teresa.
But yes.
And Scarlett's rebuttal is like, maybe it's mutual, maybe it isn't.
Well, later on, we see her hugging Ashley. I don't know who hugged first, but it was after the shift, right? And is Ashley being fake or is she actually being like, okay, we
Fake.
can be friends? Fake, right?
Fake,
Absolutely fake.
I think fake. Well,
She's a faker.
here's the thing. Scarlett's not above Ashley. So while Ashley didn't get what she wanted, she's probably not that pissed because they're equal. And that
That's
was
true.
that was the whole thing. It was the power dynamic that upset Ashley. They're equal. So they're equal.
True.
She banged Gary already. So she really has nothing to be upset
Oh no,
with Scarlett.
she's so upset. Every single time she sees them flirting, you can see her boiling.
Okay.
Because she wants Gary, and now Gary doesn't even want to admit
I
that
don't
he
even
banged
know
her.
if she wants Gary. She wants everyone to want her. She already had Gary.
Yeah, but I think she still wants him. I think she wants to prove a point because Gary's acting like he doesn't remember it didn't happen, right?
That's
So.
true. One more time and I'll make you remember it. You'll never forget this time. Yeah. Everyone gets in bed. And this is the best part. Gary's in his cabin with Marcos and Colin. Everyone's just kind of making fun of Gary because he's so in love already. And then and Gary's like, oh, is that Scarlett? She coming for a midnight snack? What does she want? And then he runs to the door and it was Marcos knocking.
They died laughing.
It was hilarious.
I loved it.
It's just boys being boys, right? It reminds me of like summer camp. You're just hanging out in your cabin. Everyone's asleep. You're just making each other laugh.
Sure.
All right.
I thought it was Ashley, to be honest, first.
Oh, trying to come and stir shit
Yeah.
up. Yeah, I really did think it was someone at the door.
I did
obviously.
too.
And I was thinking, who could it be?
That was good.
Yeah. So that was funny. All right. Before we get to the second day of the charter, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Ahoy, Jonathan.
Oh, hey, Teresa.
You ready? You ready for the second half?
I'm ready. I'm ready. The crew's ready. They're snapping into action. Gary and Scarlett, they're ready too. They're not slowing down. They're all hugs and right next to Daisy too, which is very awkward. Very awkward.
But Daisy keeps saying she doesn't like Gary like that. She doesn't want Gary, but I think she does.
I want to believe her.
I think I believed her until this episode. I don't believe her anymore. She wants Gary bad.
Well, here's the tricky part, I think. If she does want Gary, she's probably too professional to really go for it because she knows it could screw things up on the boat.
True.
So if she doesn't like him, of course she's not going to go for him. But if she does like him, she still might not go for him because she knows it's not the most professional thing to do.
True. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because first we see Barnaby. He did not get everything done during the night shift. So poor Kelsey is like taking over and cleaning at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, what is he doing?
I feel like these deckhands, and love Kelsey, but these deckhands, no matter whether it's Kelsey or Tom or Weird Al Yachtovich, they're all struggling to get things right. Glenn always comes out and it's like, nah, you missed a spot. Right?
Well, they're better than Tom, both of them.
Yeah.
Tom was
So
just
far.
there for the bank.
So far.
And he banged.
Yeah, he got what he came for and he left.
The next we see all the guests getting up, right? Asking for a dark coffee and a gluten-free breakfast.
Yes.
Wait, gluten-free is no
gluten.
no gluten. Like no, I don't know.
Gluten.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of things with gluten.
I mean, a ton of things have gluten, but when you get it,
No croissants.
well, you could probably get a gluten-free croissant.
Okay. So you can have anything.
Well, as
but it
long
has
as
to
it's
be gluten-free. I get it.
There's gluten-free beer. There's gluten-free bread. There's, a bunch of different
There is
things.
everything for everyone. Growing up, if I had any allergies, my mom would just be like, you suck it up over here.
Yeah.
No one cared.
Yeah.
Well, so that's what the guests are going to do. They're going to eat some breakfast. Obviously, everything's looking amazing because of Marcos, right?
He's working so hard this charter, maybe the hardest
Well,
yet.
it's the morning and he's already prepping for dinner.
And well, that's what I was thinking too. We know it's 80 plates for dinner, but then he's going to do breakfast. He's going to do lunch. That's 100-plate day right there. If you add it all up, that's insane. One man.
Think about it. And he said it too. A 10-course dinner on a yacht.
Right.
It's
right.
a tiny kitchen.
And here's something
and it's just him.
I was just going to say, here's something that just hit me. You go to any restaurant, go to Marcos's restaurant in California. It's probably got a sous chef
Absolutely.
and some line cooks.
And people who wash dishes and people who
Well,
chop
I think
things and
maybe
people who do this and that.
the rest of the crew may help with like the
Yeah, I don't think
cleaning
he
and
lets
stuff.
anyone in the kitchen. You always see him cleaning up. You always see him washing things.
Yeah, and granted, that's a restaurant. It may have 50 seats or something, and this only would be 9
Mm-hmm.
with Glenn eating. But still, he's in there alone, right?
Absolutely
That's a lot of
alone.
work. That's a lot of work for
But
one
he's
man.
killing it. And I think him being on Below Deck is a great exposure for him because not only that his food looks amazing and it tastes amazing because all the guests validated it minus Chuck, but who cares about him?
Yeah, I'm glad. Like, if he says it's bad, it's probably fantastic.
Yes.
If he likes it, it's McDonald's.
Yeah, he's too basic. He doesn't know what's good. But everyone loves it. He's hot, right?
All
and
right,
he has
you've said it enough. You said you get to say it twice. There's a 2-time limit. You get to say it. You get to say it twice. Okay.
And he has a great attitude, even with the group hangs and everything.
Remember when he smashed his head?
Well, poor guy.
Yeah.
Enjoyed himself and still kept cooking dinner, right? Even with the fights with Gabriela, he came out as the better person because
He's an
he didn't
adult.
get too into it.
He's
yeah.
a professional. He's an adult.
So
yes.
he's gonna come out of this with woohoo, got some money, got some fame, definitely got some ladies.
All right. Anyways,
Mm-hmm,
the guests start laying around the boat. They're in their bathing suits. And this is where I noticed no drinks in sight.
Really?
Not a transfusion. No one's asking for a transfusion. No Bloody Marys with
They
bacon.
did have some bloodies, didn't they?
No, not that I saw.
We saw maybe it wasn't the previews for next time.
Yeah, they're just laying there sober. Like one was in the hot tub, I think, but no drinks. Just kicking back, which is fine. But I'm saying that's probably why there's not much drama. And so then you want drama. Gary asks Daisy for a stew to help him out on the tender to go take the guests to the island.
Did he ask specifically for Scarlett? I kind of missed this.
I don't think he asked for Scarlett by name, but I think that would just be understood that, okay, well, this is an easy job. She could probably do it. So it would be her. Daisy, seeing how friendly and seeing what's going on between Gary and Scarlett, she's like, no, I'm not going to let Scarlett go with him because I know what's going to happen.
And this is where it became a little suspicious for me, thinking, wait a minute, she may actually like Gary. Because
Daisy.
she's getting upset over this, right? To the point that she goes and she tells Ashley, like, can you believe, like, Gary is asking for Scarlett? It's like, she needs to be here and keep learning and cleaning and do all that.
And I see both those points. I do see, okay, the guests are off the boat, so now we can actually get down to business and get things cleaned and prepped. And
Especially
Yes.
because they both are juniors. It's not like one is a second student.
no, they're
that can-
thecond. They're thecond stews.
It's horrible. Don't even
Every
get me
time you
started.
say how hot Marcos is, I'm going to say thecond.
Don't even get me started.
But so I see that point. But then I also see Gary's going to be with 8 ladies, 8 guests. Someone should be there to help him because the guests deserve good service. One guy to help 8 guests, it may be a
True,
lot.
But they don't dock. They stay on the water. So it's not like he has to set up a picnic and stuff.
Fair. But he does need to man the boat and tend to the guests. If they want a drink, if they want something set up, water, like it does make sense that you should have at least 2 people for
Well,
8
a deckhand
guests.
should have gone with him. Let's be honest.
No, deckhands aren't there to serve the guests. The
No, but
stews
they
are.
can help with snorkeling and some whatever they were doing in the water. And you can hand over a beer or a canned margarita.
But so could a stew.
True. But not Scarlett. Scarlett needs to keep learning.
So Daisy's basically like, I'm going to go be the stew on this tender to prove a point that Gary could have done this by himself.
And so she goes.
So she goes. And the whole time she's like, take your top off. No, she's like, do you need a top off? Do you need a top? Do you need another beer?
No.
And the guest's like, we're good. No, we're good.
No one's drinking. Meanwhile, Barnaby is cleaning barnacles of the boat. But did you see he
That
was
sounds
just
like a children's book.
he was just, it sounds like it's taken out of SpongeBob SquarePants. But that's how I told you. SpongeBob, when he uses a curse word, he says barnacle.
Oh.
Instead of shit or fuck, he says barnacle.
Use it in a sentence.
Like, barnacle, I forgot my computer at work.
Really?
Yes.
Guys, I don't know if you know this. Teresa, if you think her English is good, and I certainly do, you can thank SpongeBob. for it.
Absolutely.
She learned her English by watching SpongeBob.
SpongeBob SquarePants, Patrick Star, Mr. Krabs.
Now you're just flexing. Yeah. And it's so smart because I asked her when this was one of our first date conversations. I feel like you told me about SpongeBob. I asked to see your ID and I saw you were old enough. So we kept talking and I was like, why wouldn't you just watch Friends or How I Met Your Mother? Like, I'm so dumb. I'm just like, why not watch an age appropriate show? And Teresa says, because it's too advanced. The words they're using, the things they're talking about, I needed to start at this more elementary level. And I was like, yeah, that makes complete sense.
I've seen every single episode of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Well, that's a choice.
Including the movies.
That's a choice, Teresa.
I loved it. I'm gonna admit it. There is one character on SpongeBob. It's a squid, and his name I still can't pronounce.
Try.
Squidward.
I know the name. Squidworld? No.
I call him Squidward.
Is it Squidward?
I call him Squidward.
Yeah,
Squidward.
it's tough for you.
Yeah, it's very tough. So that's one thing I
got
did
some
not
more.
learn from SpongeBob.
You got some more watching to do.
Yeah, but everything else, thank you, SpongeBob
Thank you, Bob.
SquarePants. Thank you, Bob.
So the guests returned to the boat. The girls changed into their blacks to get ready for service. And Glenn is with Gary. And Glenn spots something. A boat off to the side. And he goes to Gary, you know that boat? La Cativa? We know the owner, and he just bought this boat. We should do a little race.
So is it another boat that just charters people, or is that someone just has a boat?
I don't know, but it's a good question. It's a new boat, and it's ready to race.
We saw some crew members on the previews, but maybe those are just crew members for the owner.
Sure.
Who knows?
Oh yeah, if you own a yacht, you have just as many crew probably just for your group. Yeah, and we learned Glenn has raced some yachts in his time, so he knows what's up and he knows what he can do with
And that's
Parsifal.
something for Barnaby. That's why he's there.
That's right. No, you're Barnacle. You're there to work, okay, not to race. All right, it's a race to the bottom with that attitude.
It's win-win for him. It's a win-win situation.
So then Scarlett goes and talks to Ashley about Gary because she wants to make sure things aren't weird.
And I like that she does it. Instead of like playing dumb or playing sneaky,
She gets
or
the politics.
playing ignorant.
She gets the politics. I'm sure on whatever Sunset Booze cruise she used to work on, the waitresses and the bartenders, they used to all hook up together and used to be so messy. And so now she knows I better talk so that I don't get into these fights again. So she does. She talks to Ashley and wants to make sure it's not weird. And Ashley's just like, yeah, whatever.
It's like I'm over Gary. No, you're not.
Whatever.
I'm super, super, super excited for the upcoming hang once they're done with the charter, because I want to see who's gonna get drunk and
So
get
true.
a little crazy.
So true. So Scarlett asks about Daisy. All right, you don't care if I hook up with Gary. What about Daisy? And Ashley tells Scarlett, Daisy said she would never hook up with Gary. So Scarlett has the go-ahead, more or less.
More or less, but still, read the room.
Well, I'm reading the boat, and what I'm reading is Gary and Scarlett taking in a sunset
Oh, yeah.
on the deck. I mean, I'm telling you, these two are like engaged already. It's crazy.
But again, this is what tipped
Oh, yeah.
Daisy off.
Yep.
And now I'm 100% sure that she is kind of into him, because this is her going off sober. So we first see them on the deck enjoying sunset, doing whatevs, right?
Yeah.
And then we see Scarlett cleaning the guest rooms with Daisy, and Daisy just complaining.
Well, hold on. You missed one part when they were on the deck and Daisy was just off to the side and she's like, hey, Scarlett, would you mind checking the laundry?
Oh, you're right.
You
You're
know?
right.
Which I get instead of just soaking up the sunset, you should be working. So I don't know if it was because she was with Gary or not, but that was the first
I
sign
think
of
both.
like, all right, you're trying to sabotage whatever's happening right here. So then, yes.
Yeah, so they're cleaning the guest rooms and just Ashley. I'm so used to saying Ashley complains. Daisy complains and she just goes on and on about how Get is horrible and he banged Ashley. He doesn't even own up to it. And this and this and that. And I'm like, wow. But I'm not the only one. Scarlett was like, what is this?
She was like, Daisy was acting possessed. It was, I'd never seen Daisy
No.
possessed and possessive of Gary. It was a side of Daisy I had never seen. How is that professional? You want to talk about being professional? How is going off like that about a colleague?
That's what I'm
professional?
saying. I think this is the sign that she's not okay. And I think
Yeah.
she was kind of fine with Ashley because she saw him pushing Ashley away.
Yeah, yeah.
But now she see him all over Scarlett.
All over.
Literally.
Also, the other thing I picked up on during this segment, vinegar wipes. Have you heard of vinegar wipes?
No, but vinegar cleans.
Yeah, I guess they sell, instead of like Lysol wipes, they sell vinegar wipes.
Yeah.
Can't imagine it smells good, but could clean well.
It
I guess.
cleans, yeah.
All right, let's just rock through this dinner service
It's
because
starting.
10 courses.
And everything looks absolutely beautiful. I was just, I don't even think I took any notes during this segment. I was just watching all the food.
Let's get this out of the way. Okay, first course, gazpacho with prosciutto scooters. Second course, beetroot tartare with mango and goat cheese foam.
You're not going to go over everything, are you?
Oh, yeah. Third course, penne regatta with cherry tomatoes. Fourth, grated Dover sole. Fifth,
I don't even know what you're saying, but it sounds
seared
delicious.
salmon with chipotle aioli.
I'll pass.
Sixth, a beef tenderloin. Seventh, green bean tempura. Eighth, wagyu ribeye.
Love it.
And by this course, the ladies are in a meat coma. They're basically just throwing themselves at Marcos, just doing whatever they can, saying,
Talking Spanish.
take me. Yeah. Like, take your shirt off. And
Take your apron off.
Take your
Actually,
apron-
leave your apron on.
take everything else off. Ninth course, lemon sorbet shooters. And 10th, last but not least, matcha tiramisu. And again, like no liquor. Half glass.
You are right.
You know, other guests would be like, well, I want a wine pairing with each one of these courses. I want a 10-course wine flight. These guests had a half glass
so
of
true.
half glass of Pinot Noir and called it a night.
You are so right.
I know. But Marcos nailed that dinner service. He delivered.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was unbelievable. And
When he brought the lemon sorbet, it reminded me of this lemon sorbet.
what
used
you
to
don't
sell-
you don't say.
They used to sell at this Greek store in New Jersey, and it was an actual lemon.
Oh, that's fun.
And it was you bought it. It was cut in half, and the lemon sorbet was in that frozen lemon.
Oh,
And it
that's
was
fun.
really, what's the word? Sour.
Authentic? Oh, sour.
It was so delicious. Makes me want to eat it again.
The way you just said that, Shark Tank alert. The way you just said that made me come up with a soda brand.
Let's keep it to ourselves.
You don't want to spitball
Okay,
on the
okay,
pod?
okay.
Okay. Just the name of the soda. Soda-licious.
I was just gonna say that.
Because you said it.
Yes.
You're like, oh, it was so delicious. And I was like,
So
oh.
delicious.
I was like, soda delicious.
delicious.
Also the name of the boat.
Oh,
episode,
look at
not-
that. Your favorite name ever.
Doesn't really make sense. Okay. So then in the crew quarters, Gary ends up apologizing to Daisy.
Since when did you start saying the crew quarters?
Because I
What
don't
is
know.
this, a castle?
I don't know where
What is
they
this, a
are.
castle?
I don't know where they are. They're not in their cabins. They're not in the galley.
Say
They're
downstairs.
downstairs.
Yeah.
Gary goes and apologizes. But that sounds like he was like giving her oral sex. He's like, Gary apologized to her downstairs.
You make it sound like they live in the in the Vanderbilt house in Asheville. What is it
like
called?
a
The Biltmore Estate.
It's like a $20 million yacht. They have quarters, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The
It's
crew
like-
quarters. I don't know.
I'm going to show you your way to your quarters.
Yeah.
Sounds like 18th century kind of thing.
All right. Well, they apologize to each other. They're friends now. But Scarlett sees this and feels weird because she now picks up, oh, well, Daisy may be into Gary.
Yeah,
So now
I think
I'm
she is. Not maybe, but yes, she is.
And Scarlett is smart enough to pick up on the fact that, you know what, I probably shouldn't get involved with someone that my boss
Yes,
is
but,
into.
But I don't think it's going to stop her.
We'll see.
I think we'll see some Scarlett and Gary involvement, engagement.
Maybe an engagement, maybe a wedding. We don't know. Next morning, Marco's back in the kitchen working on breakfast, but all for nothing.
Well, speaking of, we'll see. Maybe we'll see some engagement. Gary's hugging Scarlett again.
Oh boy.
Not even the 12 hours.
I can't keep her hands. He can't keep his hands off her. But Marcos is making breakfast, but they're not going to serve it because Glenn called the captain of La Cativa, the other ship, and asked, "Are you down to race?" It reminds me of like when two cars pull up to a red light and just look at each other and are like, "All right, we're going to go for it, aren't we?"
DTR.
Down to race. Yeah. So they're going to race. So breakfast is off. And Gary goes and wakes up Barnacle. He's like, "You want in on this regatta?" And Barnacle's like, "Hell yeah, that's why I'm here."
And Barnacle is so excited.
He's like, "Oh, I've raced 1,000,000 boats. This is what I'm here for."
Let's get this thing cranked over.
So, yeah, the boats get into position, and that's where it ends.
Well, this is my question. Are they going to sail? Or are they going to use the motor?
No, what kind of race is that? If it's a regatta,
Say
I
a
think-
motor.
Motor?
Motor.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult. It's
Come over
a
here. I'll
little
motorboat you. I'll show you.
motorboat.
Yeah.
Motor.
Motorboat. Yeah.
Motor.
Yeah.
Motor.
Thecond stew.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it.
I will stop because that's the end of the podcast. That is it, guys. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening right now. It's so easy to do. Look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as all the food.
So hot.
Because it was so hot.
It was so hot.
So hot. And so
Also,
delicious.
we got some merch if you guys want a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, a mug, a pint glass. We got it all. MarriedToRealityPodcast.com. There's a button for the store. Check it out. Rep the brand. Tell a friend. And thank you again for the reviews. If you haven't left one, we would appreciate it if you could. That's it. I think I've said it all.
You've said it all.
Have you said it all?
I've said it all.
All right. That means we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.